love purples with my blue eyes. My blue eyes with my brown eyes. It is really freakishly hot in this house right now. Oh, it's freaking hot. Oh my god. Can I go through early menopause?
Hey guys, it's Steph, as you can tell from my channel name, and today is my first YouTube video, which is pretty exciting to me because I have wanted to do, I kid you not, I have wanted to do YouTube for years. Do YouTube? I've wanted to make YouTube videos. That's what I meant to say. And have my own YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. I've wanted to do that since what? Age 13? Age 14? So now I'm 20. So it's been like close to a decade that I have been waiting and hoping that eventually one day I'll get the courage or the tools, like a video camera and editing, you know, like to finally put videos out. Then today is the day. You have no idea how excited I am. I'm over the moon. I'm just so happy. Now, of course, it's the first time I'm talking to a camera, so by myself in a room, and I might be a little awkward. This might be a little rough around the edges, but I promise it'll get better. It'll be fun. I'm super excited. I'm like really happy. But the only thing is, this is the second time I'm filming this video. The second time. My camera just decided to delete all the footage that I had put so much effort into. So as you can tell, like I have swatches on my hands. I'm just, I'm a little frustrated, but I'm not gonna let that take away from the exciting video that is a comparison / review, as you can tell from the title, of two very exciting holiday palettes that have just come out this September. I bought them in September, and then it took a while to get them, or actually no, it did not take a while to get them in the mail. It took a while to actually start playing around with them and film this video. I've gotten to play around with them. I'm super happy about them, and I want to share them with you. It's just taken me a while to get this video up because I've been busy with exams. I'm in university, so I had midterms. I have a part-time job, so I've been very busy, but I'm finally getting this video up, so it's gonna be, like I said, a comparison of two Urban Decay holiday palettes, the Vice 4 and the Spectrum palette, the Urban Decay Spectrum eyeshadow palette. Of course, it's only like it's mid-October, beginning / mid-October, and we're already talking about Christmas palettes. Apparently Sephora thinks that December came early this year. So let's just get into it. I'm going to talk first about the Vice 4, because that's the one that everyone really knows about and anticipates every year. It's the one that the Vice family is notorious for being the holiday palette for Urban Decay. I have never owned any other Vice palette. I did purchase the Vice 3 last year, and I returned it. I thought the eyeshadows were very crumbly. It's not that they weren't pigmented. They did have pigmentation to them, but I just felt like they were hard to work with. But this year I am not disappointed, and I'm really happy. Yeah, I think this palette, when I see comparisons of them all, I think it's my favorite one. I haven't owned all of them, but I really do think this is my favorite, and by far, like, the coolest one ever as far as everything. The total packaging's on point. The eyeshadows are amazing. They're pigmented, they're beautiful, I love them. So this is the box. Also, I don't think it needs to be said that these obviously were not sent to me, and I'm not being paid, considering I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so, but I just figured I'd throw it out there. So, the box. I don't know why I'm showing the box. It's basically, it gives you a glimpse of what's inside. This is the design that both the palette and the little makeup bag it comes with come with. So there's that. It shows you the colors on the back, all crushed and cute like that. And then a description of the palette. I don't care. Let's get to the good stuff. We have a makeup bag it came with, and the Vice 3 came with a makeup bag as well. I don't know about the first two. I'm pretty sure they didn't come with it. I think it was just Vice 3 and onwards. So it has this, like, again, the same packaging as the box, kind of like this broken glass spider web feel. Kind of looks more Halloween-y than Christmassy, but to me at least. But yeah, so this, it just says UD on it. It doesn't say Vice 4 or even Vice on it, but the back is so cute. Beauty with an edge. Do you see that? Do you see that cuteness? Beauty with an edge. It's so cute. I love it. I mean, not cute, it's edgy. Whatever. You unzip the makeup bag, and then you get, are you ready? Are you guys ready? I don't think you're ready. Look at this gorgeousness. Look! Yeah, so this is... Do you see this gorgeousness? Like, are you guys seeing this? It's beautiful. It is supposed to apparently be inspired by an oil slick, and I think it's pretty spot on. You can see everything that you would see in an oil slick, like an oil spot on the pavement. Look at that gorgeousness. I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. It has the greens, the purples, the blues, the orangey yellows. It's just gorgeous. However, when you look, or maybe it's just me, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I look at this, I think it's gonna be rainbow. It's gonna be rainbow. It's gonna be an explosion of bright colors. However, I just feel like the colors inside it are not very, like, they're kind of disjointed with the outside packaging. That's just the only thing I would nitpick. Everything else about this palette I love, but the only thing I would nitpick is that. I think it would be the fact that this outside packaging, the oil slick, I hope you're getting all the colors in it. That's how beautiful it is. It suggests to me rainbow bright. And then you open it and it's not so much rainbow bright, it's jewel tones and neutrals. But again, I love it. I don't have a problem with it at all. So I'm going to cover up the mirror, not to blind you, but it does come with a big, big, big mirror, as all the Vice palettes do. And then these, I'm trying to make sure it's all in frame, these are the colors you are getting. Beautiful colors. I really do love this palette. And I do think it is so worth the money. In Canadian dollars, this was $70. I don't know how much that is in American dollars, but it's obviously going to be a little cheaper. Probably, I think it was like 60. Maybe you guys have it for 60, I don't know. But that's, I think for 20 eyeshadows, that's a pretty good deal. Oh, also I should mention that it does come with a little double-ended brush, like all of their palettes seem to come with. There's a crease side and then just a lid side. The crease side I don't think would blend very much. I think it's actually pretty useless if you're going to be blending with it. It's just good to place color on there. It's not really going to blend it out. But I think if you're in a pinch and if you're going to be traveling with this palette, because I do think it's good to travel with. I think especially it comes with a bag, so you could store it. As far as everyday, in my everyday storage, I wouldn't store it in a bag, but let's say I was bringing it with me to a vacation or a trip, I would maybe store it in this bag. Although the bag isn't very padded, it would at least protect it from being scratched. I don't know. But okay, enough with the bag. I'm tired of talking about the bag. Let's just the bag. I mean, I'll just go into swatches, I guess. And I'm going to be swatching row by row, not column by column. So row by row. And I'm going to be going in order. Row, horizontal, column, vertical. Here. So we're going to do, it's going to be 5 at a time, and there's 4 rows of them, so this should be pretty snappy, okay? This is Bones. It's a really pretty color, very light. It's gorgeous though, guys. Trust me, take my word for it. It's a very gorgeous color. I would use this on my inner corner, but also my lid. I think it would be a really pretty color on the lid. Just for this row, there are no mattes except for Grip could kind of be seen as a matte. And Grip is this one. It has a matte base to it, but with very tiny, tiny little flecks of glitter. I don't even want to say glitter, like micro shimmer. It's not chunky. Grip is the only one I heard bad things about. People said it wasn't as pigmented as it should be. But I mean, in my experience, I mean, it's a grayish color that's really close to my skin tone, so I don't expect much from it anyways. Sorry, that was loud. Okay, then we have Deadbeat. Yes, we have Deadbeat, which is this blackish one. This one on my ring finger. I can never get my ring finger to stand up without my middle finger and my pinky wanting to like go up. So I'm gonna try and do it. See, the pinky just goes up. Okay, whatever. The black one here on my ring finger, that's Deadbeat. Okay, and then we have, what is this? Beatdown, which is this gorgeous purple. And then Pandemonium. Another purple, whereas Beatdown is very blue tone, Pandemonium is very like eggplanty with silverish shimmer in there. And Deadbeat again, silver shimmer. Deadbeat, Beat Down, and Pandemonium, the three last ones, they are kind of crumbly in the sense that they, like, you can see that there's little globs of that on there. Like, it picks up little balls and it clumps them together. Like, I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to get it to focus. Okay, you see those two little globs of, like, pigment, like, stuck together? That's partially because your fingers have oil on them. So when you actually go to swatch them, swatch a color, it'll pick up a lot more pigment than your brush would, so it's not going to be that much of an issue when you go to, like, actually apply it. They're not clumpy or chunky. It's not like it's going to be a chunk of glitter. They're just very crumbly. So just keep that in mind. The pigment's going to be there, but there's going to be fallout. There's going to be fallout, but it's not gritty. It's very soft and buttery. And you can see from the swatches here that, like what I'm saying, they're very, very pigmented, and it's not glitter galore. It's just chunky in the sense that you're going to really have to tap off your brush and pat it onto your eyelid as opposed to sweeping it on, because then you're going to get fallout all over your face. And no one likes that. Okay? Second row. And again, like I said, there was no matte yet. We're hitting our first matte in this row, which is Framed. So, starting from the top, Framed, which is, I think, the closest thing you will get to a brow bone color in this palette. So that's Framed. This is, what is it again? Fastball, which is one of the colors that really drew me to this palette. Again, one of those, it's shimmery and it's not flaky, but it's clumpy. And I'm going to show you again that the pigment is there, but it's just very finicky in the sense that you're going to get fallout probably. 1985, another one that has clumpiness, but when you swatch it, okay, this one is very clumpy. You can see it on there. It's very clumpy, but you can get around that. Just be very careful. So this palette is not one that you won't get fallout in. I'll just say it right now, you're going to get fallout if you're not careful. I didn't get fallout today when I did this look, but I was careful. I tapped off my brush. I patted instead of sweeping motions. So just be vigilant, guys. Or be digilant. What's the word I'm looking for? Be cautious when you're using these. Underhand, which is one of my favorites. It's what I'm wearing today. It's an eggplanty purple. It is gorgeous. And then Harlot, it's in my inner part of my lid. It's a beautiful lavender purple. It's amazing. I love it. Like, I can't say enough about the purples in this palette. They are gorgeous. So, Discreet is that one right there. It's a pretty interesting one. It's a good, I feel, transitional kind of shade. It's a very, very cool-toned, silvery, no, like a cool-toned, purpley, pale color. I don't know how to describe it. It's very interesting. Then we have Grasshopper. Need I say more? I mean, the name says it itself. It's a grassy green. It's beautiful. C-Note is gorgeous. It's the one on my ring finger, like I said. This one. It's beautiful. And Arctic, which is this one right here. Beautiful color. I'm in love with this row, especially with the mermaidy colors. Like, doesn't this make you want to be a mermaid for Halloween? Am I the only one? Am I the only one that's so intrigued by these colors? And then Robbery, which is the taupe I said. Beautiful taupe. And then the last row, finally, because I want to talk about the other palette. Okay, we get into the really crumbly shades. The only two that I find are really issues with this palette is Low and Crowbar. So this is Bitter. It's a orangey, reddy brown. It's very, very, very warm tone, reddish brown. Flame, it's basically what I would think of as like a fiery orange. Really, really, really pretty. This is Low, and this is Crowbar. Do you see how they're both very, very chunky? Crowbar is my favorite out of these two because this is very cool tone. This is like a black with like goldy green reflex in there. And then we have Delete, which is just basically a coffee dark mocha brown. Not very exciting. But I'm going to show you Crowbar and Low. why I say they're problematic. Crowbar, the pigmentation is there, but it's very, very chunky. Low, the pigmentation kind of goes away. Okay, you can't really see. I'm trying to show you. Do you see them? They're the like bottom two here. Again, with chunkiness, but these are probably the only two problematic shades in the entire palette. They're the ones that I don't think are the greatest. Make sense? Of what I think of the Vice palette, I think the combination of colors is gorgeous. I think that it's really, 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 really versatile or wearable. You can make wearable looks out of it because it has the combination of brow bone colors, inner corner highlights, outer corner deeper colors, and a bunch of neutrals mixed with bright greens and oranges and pinks, and I just think it's beautiful. I think the combination of colors is great. There's more neutrals in there than the packaging would suggest, but that's just my little only nitpicky thing. Two colors that I think are going to be very problematic, like I said, are Low and Crowbar, which is the last two here. These two, I think, will give you the most issues, but apart from that, or aside from that, I think it's a gorgeous palette. $70 for 20 colors. I personally think I obviously think it's worth it because I bought it, but I think it's a cool gift. If you're not going to get it for yourself, maybe get it for someone that you know will use color. The second palette they came out with in the holiday season for 2015, I have to get the box, is the Urban Decay Spectrum palette. This one I think is the most false advertising with the box, just because when you look at this, you think rainbow. Even more so than you did with the Oil Slick one, you think rainbow. Look at that. And then you see the back and you're like, not so rainbow bright, is it? Very, very jewel tone. And then even more so, the box is completely disjointed with the actual packaging of the palette. It's black, guys. It's all black. It has UD on it in jewels, kind of rise up, and like a obviously fake crystal plastic, but you know, it's classy. It's like a box. It's very reminiscent of their anniversary palette, okay? The one that came out, I don't know exactly when it came out, but I remember I didn't buy it. Oh, sorry, I'm adjusting my chair. Okay. I remember I didn't buy the anniversary palette. So I can't have it next to you to like show you, but those of you who know, it had this kind of box idea where the idea behind this packaging is that there's a little part here that you raise the tray of eyeshadows with, and you then have a box and a cover to that box where you could store a statement necklace that you love and you want to protect, or maybe some little pieces of jewelry. And it's a cool idea, and it's very, very earth-friendly, very 21st century marketing, where it's like, oh, recycle the packaging, we care about Mother Earth, save the planet, you know? So I think it's cool, but it's not practical. It's a very nice sentiment, but it's really not practical. I said that the Vice 4 was good for traveling, whereas this one is not great for traveling at all because the lid just pops right off. Like, there's nothing holding it together. You have a nice big mirror. It has the little filigree inside. It's a cute concept, but it's one of those items that the collector's gonna want just because it's a collector's item. But it's not going to be very versatile for the person on the go all the time. It's really for the people who are going to only have this at home, or the people who want to collect it. And I've heard that there are a lot of repeats in this one. Whereas the Vice one was all new shades, never seen before Urban Decay shades. This one has some repeats. I don't own, the only other Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes I own are the Naked line. So I don't know how many of these are repeats, but I mean, like I said, it's people who want to collect them, they're going to buy it either way. But it's good to know for you guys in case you do own the anniversary palette or other Vice palettes, just be forewarned that there are going to be repeats. So this is the range of shades in this one. As you can see, there's a lot less neutrals in this one, but again, there's a lot less colors. Well, not a lot less, but there's 15 colors in this, whereas the Vice had 5 more, so 20. And this one is 65 Canadian, so probably 55 American, I'm assuming. You guys are always around $10 more, less than us. There's a lot less neutrals. But like I said, there's a lot more that they had to play around with in the Vice 4, where they could throw a little bit more neutrals in and still have the same amount of color. So that's just one thing to consider. Like, there's less neutrals, but there's also less eyeshadows. So are you really getting less color? Totally subjective. Depends on if these are colors you're actually going to use. The reason I say you could technically just still buy both is because the types of blues and greens in this one are different than the types of blues and greens in the Vice 4. You can see that these are very, very jewel tone, whereas the Vice 4 was more bright greens and bright blues. This one's very like deeper teals, deeper blues, a nice forest green. You can see that. And the purples in this one on the opposite side, they're less neutral purples. Like Omen is a very, very bright purple. This one right here. It's actually a very, very pretty purple, and I love cool tone purples like that, so it's right up my alley, but it's just something to note that they're different types of colors. This one's very, very geared towards jewel tones. It's really just, it depends on what you're looking for. Like I said, they're different enough to own both of them, because even the neutrals in here are a lot less cool tone than the neutrals in the Vice 4. So I personally think I don't regret owning both of them. I just don't think that it's a necessity to own both of them. And I'm going to get into which one I would prefer to recommend to you in a moment. But let's just start the swatches. So here, one more look at them. And now we're going to start the swatches. And again, we're going to go row by row, not column, row. And 3 at a time this time, so it's going to be easier on my tiny little hands. And one of my favorite rows. So this is Protest. I always want to say Forest because it's a forest green. Protest, Junkie, kind of a teal green, and then Deep End, a very, very bright, turquoisey teal. Very hard to distinguish between the last two, but there are differences. So that's the first row. Wow, my fingers are getting really dirty from all these swatches, and I forgot the makeup wipes in the bathroom. Madness, sorry. This, like, typical blue. It's like a typical blue color. Shimmer again. Madness. No. Oh my god. Evidence. Beautiful. Very, very pigmented. This one is, like, one of the softest ones that I've touched in this palette. Beautiful, gorgeous color, so pigmented. And Prank shocked me. It's a very dark, almost black navy, but it has specks of tealy blue, green kind of, not shimmer, like reflex in there. Oh, it's beautiful. I love that one. Very, very beautiful. And that's the most pigmented row, I think. Or maybe just in my opinion, I don't know. I love that row. Then we have the purples, Omen, my ring finger. Very, very cool tone, brightly, it's like a lavender reflex under a very cool tone bluish purple. Very, very beautiful. I love that one, very pigmented. But I'm going to be saying that for all of them because Urban Decay makes pigmented eyeshadows. Like, there's no way around it. Very rarely are their eyeshadows flops. We have Flashback, more of a warmer, like a pinky purple, but it's still cool tone in my opinion. It's not like an eggplant purple, which would be warm tone. And then finally we have, I forget what this one's called, Voodoo. It's a darker purple. Flatline is this very, very, very pigmented, a very bright, like ballerina pink is what I can describe it as. Very, very pale, pale pink. Beautiful color. I'm in love with that. On the lid or inner corner, it would be gorgeous. Is it focusing? Doesn't want to focus. There we go. Then we have Bordello. Typical, just a neutral brown. Nothing too special. And then Backlash I did on my thumb. I think this one is a repeat if I'm not mistaken. But it's just a magenta pink. Flashy hot pink. Kind of a Barbie look. And then we have the last row. They're neutrals. Daybreak. That would be a pretty lid color. What's this one? This one's Burn. just a bronzy brown. And then finally, this mocha dark brown color is, I forget, West. This one right here. So that's it for swatches of the, I was about to call it the anniversary palette, of the Spectrum palette. And there are the colors again. So here's the comparison part. I said this wasn't going to be in-depth reviews. I lied. I talked and talked for very, very long. I apologize for that. I think if you're going for value, like which one you're paying for, like you're paying a high price for both, 70 and 65 Canadian. So I'm assuming it'll be like 60, 55 American. I really don't know the American prices. If you're gonna go for which one am I gonna get the biggest value for my money, I think it would be the Vice. Because there are no repeats. These are all new shades. All new shades. So it's not like you're gonna have doubles of multiple shades like in the Spectrum one. The Spectrum one, like I said, there's repeats. I don't know exactly which ones and what they correspond to, or which repeats correspond to which palettes. I don't know that, but I do know that I've heard and I know that, like for a fact, that there are repeats in that one, whereas the way they marketed the Vice 4 was that there are no repeats, all new shades. That's something that appeals to some people. So in that sense, you won't get repeats of shades. It'll be all new shades. It's $5 more expensive, but you're getting 5 more eyeshadows. So in my opinion, it's not a big deal. It's basically $1 extra per an extra eyeshadow, or like for every extra eyeshadow, it's just an extra $1. So for as far as value goes, 5 extra eyeshadows for just $5 extra, I think go with the Vice. It's more versatile for traveling. You have a lot more wearable colors in this one, I feel, than in the other one. You really have to like blues and purples. Those are the predominant, like blues and purples are basically what I could characterize this as, with a splash of neutral and a few odd colors like pinks. That's what I would characterize this as. Blues, greens, purples. If you like those, get that. This one's a lot more versatile because someone who likes neutrals and just wants a pop of color, they could really get some use out of this palette. And I think it's a lot more versatile for every single person. You know, you could find different ways to make different looks, but really it's more versatile if you don't know the person's style very well. If it's for your cousin or your sister and you're not sure, will she like this for sure? Like, am I sure that she's gonna get use out of this? And you're picking between these two palettes, I would say the Vice 4, because it's a lot more versatile for a lot more people. You get 5 extra eyeshadows, a makeup bag, and a brush. Technically 2 brushes because it's double-ended. For $5 extra, you're getting all that. Bang for your buck is definitely this one, with no repeats. But if you're going for something, if you're someone who really knows, like me, that I love blues and greens and purples, I love purples with my blue eyes, with my brown eyes, then this one is one that you should consider. Because if I already have a lot of neutrals, so for me, having neutrals in the palette was not a very big selling point, but I know for a lot of people it is. That's why I recommend the Vice 4. But if you're like me and you already have a ton of neutrals, like I have way too many neutral palettes than I will ever need. Personally, if I had to choose one and stick with it and return the other one, I would choose this one because I just love the colors in here. But if I'm gonna make a recommendation for everyone all across YouTube, I will definitely say that the winner for me is the Vice 4, because that is the one that I think is a lot more versatile, a lot more people are gonna love it, and feel comfortable wearing it. This is very intimidating to people who don't like color, but this one, it eases you into it. So to sum up, also the fact, okay, yeah, it's cool, it's like a little, it's a reusable product, but I mean, who really finishes their eyeshadow palettes, guys? Let's be honest, we are always consuming. We're buying new eyeshadow palettes. I'm never gonna get through all the eyeshadows I own. So it's a cool concept, but it's not a selling point for me. If this is the only eyeshadow you will ever use until it runs out, then sure, the fact that you can use it as a jewelry case, it's a plus. My personal favorite is this one. That's my personal favorite. But the one that I think everyone, if you're gonna just choose one, if you only have room in the budget for one, I would say it's this one. So for me, this one's the winner between these two. Also the fact that when I bought this, only VIBs and VIB Rouge could get this, it pretty much just limits you. If you're not either of those, it limits you to this one. But I mean, if you are VIB or VIB Rouge, I would suggest the Vice 4. Then again, if you're at that status, chances are you already spent a lot of money on makeup, so you're probably gonna end up getting both like I did. It's just kind of like, eh. So I mean, like I said, winner for this year between these two palettes, not all across the board of all makeup palettes in the holidays. Between these two, I would recommend the Vice 4, and I'm super happy that I have it with me and I got it. And yeah, I'm super excited. I'm happy, guys. The holidays are coming soon. So that's it for this video, I think. Can't think of anything else that I want to say.
Comment, rate, and subscribe.
No, but seriously, for real, subscribe, please. It would make my day. Like, I don't want to sound desperate or anything, but I mean, let's be honest, I am. I'm new to this. It would really mean a lot to me if you guys could subscribe and maybe look past my awkwardness for this video and see what else I can do. See what else is up my sleeve. Let's see. So I'm really excited, like I said in the intro. This is a long time in the making. I'm super pumped about this. I am so excited to share this with you guys. Like, I want my channel to be just all about fun. I want it to be fun for you guys. So I'm super pumped. I love all of you who took the time to click and watch this video in its entirety. I think you guys are amazing human beings because I just love you. So thank you so much. If you've gotten this far and you've stuck to the end, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please subscribe, please like, comment. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what I did right, what I did wrong. I'm opening myself up to some criticism, but I can take constructive criticism, please. I'm really excited. I'm so excited. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna babble on and on and on, and it's gonna be like, it's gonna take forever. So I'm gonna stop here. I think this is a good place to end it. I love you all. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye, guys.